I need you to listen to this. Don't scroll. Don't check your phone. Just listen. Last night, I found something I wrote when I was 16, and it shattered me. If you don't make it by 18, your life is over. I wish I could go back and slap that kid across the face. I wish I could tell him to stop destroying himself over a deadline that doesn't exist. I wish I could tell him that the pain he's feeling, the pressure, the fear, it's not real. At 13, life is simple. At 16, life starts feeling like a ticking bomb. At 18, you convince yourself that if you haven't made it yet, you failed. But no one tells you that this pressure isn't natural. It's programmed into you. Your phone is filled with 17-year-old millionaires flexing their dream lives. You scroll past self-improvement gurus telling you you're lazy if you're not successful yet. Your feed is flooded with people younger than you, richer than you, doing better than you. And you start wondering, what's wrong with me? Why am I so behind? Why does everyone else seem to have it figured out? Let me tell you something that no one told me at 16. They're lying. When I was 16, I became obsessed. I started waking up at 5 a.m. every day because some YouTuber said successful people wake up early. I stopped playing video games because someone online said it was wasting my potential. I quit hanging out with friends because I thought time spent socializing is time I could be grinding. So there I was, 5 a.m., middle of winter, freezing cold. I was outside, practicing the same shot for the 5,000th time. Everyone else was asleep. My fingers were numb. My breath was fog in the air. And in my head, I told myself, this is what it takes. This is what makes people great. One day, they'll see. One day, I'll prove them wrong. But what I didn't know, I was killing myself over a dream that wasn't even real. Tryouts. The day I'd been training for, the moment that was supposed to change my life. 5 years of work, thousands of hours, sacrifices, missed birthdays, lost friendships. I stepped onto the court, ready to give everything I had. The coach barely looked at me. Kid, you're 5 feet 7 inches. We need someone taller. That was it. 5 words. 5 words that crushed everything I had built my life around. I remember standing there, nodding, pretending I was okay. I remember walking out of that gym, feeling like my chest was caving in. I remember looking back at every single sacrifice I had made, and for what? Nothing. And that's when I disappeared. For 3 months, I locked myself in my room. I stopped caring. I stopped trying. I stopped being me. I spent 18 hours a day gaming, because in that world, height didn't matter. I could be anyone. I could win. I could escape. But life doesn't stop just because you do. Because then, it happened. Thursday night, I was deep into a CS.GO tournament when my mom called. Once, twice, 3 times. I ignored it. I was too focused. And then, the 4th time, I picked up. If you had come just an hour earlier, you might have been able to say goodbye. I don't remember much after that. Just the silence, the regret, the realization that I had spent years chasing something that didn't matter, while ignoring the things that did. If you're 13, 16, 18, I need you to hear this. Let me tell you a real story. When I was 15, I saw a video that changed everything. It was about an 18-year-old kid who became a millionaire. Fancy cars, a penthouse, traveling the world. He looked straight into the camera and said, "If you're still broke at 18, you've already lost." I believed him. I stopped hanging out with my friends. I stopped playing games. I stopped enjoying the little things because I thought every second I wasn't hustling, I was falling behind. At 16, I was reading self-improvement books instead of laughing with friends. At 17, I refused to go to family vacations because successful people don't waste time. At 18, I spent every waking hour trying to start my first online business. And guess what? It failed. Then I tried another, and another. Each time, I failed harder than before. At 19, I had lost all my savings. And suddenly, that voice in my head started whispering, "You failed. It's over. You wasted your chance." I believed that voice, and it destroyed me. At 19, I hit rock bottom. I had no money, no motivation, no idea what to do next. I stopped texting people back. I stopped stepping outside. My days were just waking up, eating, scrolling, sleeping. One night, at 2 a.m., I stood in front of the mirror and asked myself, is this it? Is this all my life is ever going to be? For the first time, I had no answer, and that scared me more than anything. A friend's call that changed everything. Then, something happened. A friend called me, the only one who still checked in. He asked, "Are you okay?" I laughed. "What do you mean? I already failed. It's too late." And he told me something that changed my life. Bro, Jeff Bezos worked at McDonald's when he was 18. Steve Jobs was a dropout selling old computers at 19. Nobody has it figured out at our age. Stop acting like your life is over. That night, I sat on my bed and thought about everything. And I realized he was right. If you're watching this and you're 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, or 18, I need you to hear this. 1. Nobody expects you to have life figured out yet. 2. Failing at something doesn't mean you are a failure. 3. The person you are today is not the person you will be at 25. Let me say that again. The person you are today is not the person you will be at 25. When I was 16, I thought I'd be rich by 20. When I was 18, I thought I was doomed forever. At 25, I realized I was just getting started. You don't need to have your life figured out at 18. Your 20s exist for a reason. So stop rushing. Stop panicking. You are not behind. Let me tell you something nobody says out loud. All these successful kids on the internet, most of them are burning out. They're not happy. They're stressed out of their minds, constantly scared they'll lose everything. But you don't see that. You just see their highlight reel. The truth? The happiest people I know are the ones who stopped trying to rush life. The life I never expected. Today, I don't have a Lamborghini. I don't have $1 million mansion. But I have something I never had before. Peace. I stopped chasing things I didn't even want. I stopped living on someone else's timeline. And guess what? Life started making sense. I started doing things because I enjoyed them. I started learning without worrying about success. And the crazy part? That's when opportunities started coming in. When I was obsessed with making it, I failed. When I let go of that pressure, I actually started growing. Final words, the only thing that matters. So if you feel lost right now, good. That means you're growing. That means you're learning. That means your story is still being written. If I could go back and talk to my 18-year-old self, I'd tell him one thing. You haven't failed. You've just begun. And if you ever feel like giving up, remember this. The people who make it aren't the ones who never fail. They're the ones who kept going. And so should you.